The Cherokee Sports Network, in association with the Colorado High School Activities Association, is proud to bring you Colorado High School basketball on CCSN. The Bruins are coming off a week that included 2 top 10 matchups. They're back at it again against Rocky Mountain. And hi, everybody. Welcome inside the Kirby Lounge Gymnasium with Kel McDavid. I'm Bedford Paris at Kel. Since we've turned the calendar into 2022, it's been absolute chaos for girls basketball across the state, especially right here in the Centennial League.
Yeah, you know, number 1 Mullen in 4A defeated number 3 Grandview, and Cherry Creek actually played Mullen on Friday and beat Mullen, and they were down 2 senior players, Kinsey Christensen and Charlie Gordon, and so that was a huge win for Cherry Creek. Number 3 Grandview defeated number 1 Valor, and Arapahoe defeated Cherry Creek earlier last week as well. So lots of movement within the Centennial League. And
it's hard to tell who the best team might be, who might be one of the forerunners as we make it to the postseason. But with the CCSN poll that came out yesterday, we start to get a little bit of a better look after some upsets last week. But all we know is that this top 10 is going to fluctuate a ton before it's all said and done.
Totally, and as you can see, a lot of those teams are Centennial League teams, and as league play continues, there's going to be a lot of movement, and I think that the coaches poll also plays a huge role in girls basketball just as the season progresses, and that also impacts. So I think it'll be an interesting season to see how those rankings change.
We take a look at this year's Cherokee Bruins rosters for those who might have not seen it yet. Pretty balanced between all the classes. The stat at the bottom that you have 5 players on this team that played with players who won the state championship now 3 seasons ago. This team has leadership, they know what it takes to win, and they've got new people to do it with.
For sure, really young team. There's been lots of teaching that's been happening, playing maybe a different style of basketball, but really a team that knows what they need to do to win and has the players to be able to do that.
We're going to take a look at a player that you might want to watch tonight, and it's the freshman Tiana Chambers.
Yeah, you know, she has averaged 13 points per game, which is leading the team right now. She has made 28 more free throws than the next closest Bruin and leads teams in attempts and makes. And, you know, that's where a team can get a lot of points is on the free throw line. And that also means that she is attacking hard and being a big player for the Cherry Creek team.
We know based on that free throw stat, she's going to drive to the rim, she's going to draw fouls, and then it's just up to her to make her free throws, and we know how important that is as teams come down to the final. So for me and Kel, we'll see you at halftime. With that, we're going to send it down to David Knockel, who'll get us started with pregame introductions and the national anthem before tip-off right here on CCSN.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Kirby Lounge Gymnasium for tonight's basketball game between the visiting Rocky Mountain Lobos and your Cherry Creek Bruins. Fans at this time, please rise as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem.
Stars through the perilous
12, Rachel Peebles. Number 13, Ashlyn Tilley. Number 15, Sarah Chico. And number 30, Abby Seville. All was led by Coach B. Starting tonight for your Cherokee Bruins. Number 1, Tiana Chambers. Number 21, Sophia Aldesari. Number 24, Braylon Barnett. Number 25, Ania Chambers. And number 35, Charlie Gordon. Your Bruins are led by head coach, Clint Evans.
Welcome back into the Kirby Lyle Gymnasium, back alongside Kel McDavid. I'm Benjamin Paris as we get ready for tip-off between the number 6 Cherry Creek Bruins and the Rocky Mountain Lobos. Kel's second game at home, first game of the new year for this team. It's always nice to be home. Home sweet home, as they say.
Yeah, you know, this league schedule has been a little bit lopsided this season. This is, like you said, only the Bruins' second game at home, so definitely nice to have a little bit of a home court advantage.
Just one senior on the floor to begin for the Bruins. Number 35 in white, Charlie Gordon, leading the way.
Yeah, you know, Kinsey Christensen is on COVID protocol right now, return to play, so she should be back later this week, hopefully.
And here we go. Underway at Kirby Lyles. The Bruins initially won the opening tip, but they went forward instead of backwards, and a block to begin the game by Braylon Barnett, rather. As in it comes, it's Tilley. And Tilley get a pull-up for 3. Not going to go, but she's going to end up with her own rebound. As Matkin went up, she's fouled, and she'll head to the line to shoot 2.
Number 1, Tiana Chambers, that's her first team first. Number 5, Delaney Matkin, and the line below is shooting 2.
So there's Delaney Matkin. First one won't go.
You know, like we were talking about in the pregame, free throws are so important, and even at the beginning of the game, it's a great way to just get a few easy points. And so it's a big shot right there with the first point on the board for Rocky Mountain.
She hits the back end, and now the Bruins head on to the offense. As into the paint it comes, and then it's taken away by Tilley. It's back to court. They go to the far side. As Tilley will control. Had it knocked out of her hands, and Charlie Gordon will get the steal as the Bruins try to race up court. And an easy lay-in for Braylon Barnett.
You know, this season, Charlie Gordon is really playing a different role for the Bruins. The last couple of years, she's been kind of behind Jana Van Geitenbeek, Casey Kyle, Abby Reed. All 3 players were pretty dominant point guards, and Charlie has never really had to play that, you know, number 1 point guard role. And this season, she definitely has had to play that role. And like you saw there, looking up the court, great court vision, and to find Braylon on that pass.
It's an opportunity she's been waiting for, really for all 4 years, and it's one that she's really excited to have. As back the other way, a 3-point shot is up. Won't go off the hands of Chico. As Chambers to Gordon. Gordon for 3. Charlie Gordon knocks it down.
You know, you'll see this Bruins offense, they're really going to try to take advantage of those transition plays. You can hear Coach Evans telling them to push the ball up the court every time they get a turnover, and that's going to be a huge part of the Bruins offense tonight.
So Gordon gets the Bruins started from 3-point land, and as Kenna Wagner was driving, Bruins will get called with a foul. Sophia Baldessari, the 6-foot junior for the Bruins, definitely going to be an impact player because they've been looking for that tall person to fill a role really ever since Callie left.
For sure. You know, you had the Christensens last year, obviously still have Kinsey this year, but to have someone big to battle, especially in some of those league games, you know, you've got Lauren Betts of Grandview and some really tall players around the league.
Oh. That's a matchup I can't wait to see. Baldessari and Betts. And if you want to see really how good of a defender you are, you put yourself up against Lauren Betts.
Yeah, for sure. She is a challenging player to defend.
Into the paint, and Braylon Barnett's got some more. As the Bruins get out to an early 7-2 lead. As Pebbles. Back a three-point basket from a falling Matkin. Doesn't go as the Bruins will come back down floor again. Gordon to Baldessari. Will go to Chambers. Back to Gordon. Charlie surveying. And here's Chambers. Couldn't quite finish as Gordon tried to get in there for the rebound, but it's controlled by the Lobos.
Yeah, you know, like we were talking about earlier, that's a really aggressive play there by Tiana, and Bruins really just trying to get something going on offense, just kind of in motion on that play, and just moving the ball is going to be really important for them tonight.
As the Bruins continue to race down court, Gordon in the paint. No basket as it hits the suspension rig that the basket is up in the gym, but a good floater from Charlie.
Yeah, you know, that's a great play. Just unfortunate that it hit the basket, which in this gym is out of bounds.
So the Bruins get two new players in the game. It's Kylie Smith along with the senior Sam Smith. They're also joined out there by Maria Johnson, a returning player. As Smith will get her first rebound of the game and goes to Johnson. Into the paint, and there it goes. Tiana Chambers. As the Bruins now with the 7-point lead as shot came up from Mackin. And now Smith with some handles up floor. And Johnson's going to draw the foul.
Yeah, you know, like you saw on that previous possession, obviously the Bruins have a couple of tall players that seem like they would be more of post players, but none of this team is a standout post player, and all of them can pass the ball, all of them can shoot the ball, and all of them have great handles. So like in that play, you're going to see some different players trying to feed the ball to their teammate, and smaller guards are going to get good matchups in the paint against some of the get some mismatch for sure.
So look at Maria Johnson, 43% at the line this season. And she's got her first. Maria was a player who made her Cherry Creek debut last season during that COVID season in front of almost nobody. But for someone that was in the gym, Skuros handles for sure.
Yeah, you know, she definitely spends a lot of time working on her ball handling skills. You'll see her post videos of her shooting. She spends a lot of time in the gym, and you can tell on the court.
Misses her second as Delaney has it for Rocky Mountain. So they made the trip from Fort Collins to play here today. We'll talk about that more as the broadcast continues. They're down 8 over halfway through quarter number 1, and a travel going to be called. Abby Seville going to be called with that one, and now Laura Hedrick will head into the game.
You know, I saw a game earlier this season from Cherry Creek, and it seems as in this game, Coach Evans is really subbing a lot, trying to get a lot of players in, trying to work on some different things. It's still so early in the season that you got to try to get some different players in, try different sets, and you can see that right now.
Foul going to be called as Leach couldn't quite get it to go, and she's going to be called for the foul. So the Bruins are getting their bench involved early. And Wagner's going to put up a shot, tried to get it to go off the glass. And a backcourt going to be called on Rocky Mountain. They're confused as why, but the Bruins won't complain as they get the turnover, and now the officials are going to talk it over.
I think the Rocky Mountain coach might have thought that Julia Leach touched that, but I don't think that she did.
It's back into play. Johnson's going to go to Smitch. In the corner for Sam Smith. As she put one up for Johnson, ended up in the hands of Leach, and she gets it to go off the glass.
Sometimes I think that maybe volleyball players would be really good basketball players. They tend to have little tips all the time. And Julia did play volleyball.
Whole bunch of athletes on this Cherry Creek team. A lot of multi-sport guys. As a tough play trying to grab the rebound, Sam Smith's going to head up court. As a player side from each team's going to trail. As Smitch hands off to Johnson, and she lost it. And here we go, it's Wagner. And out of bounds, going to stay here. As the Bruins defenders came chasing back and made a nice play as Julia Smith and Tiana Chambers will check into the game. And Kylie Smith will head off to the bench with a smile. It's Rocky Mountain inbounds. Some good handles from Mackin. Trying to create some space, get a floater. Won't quite go, but she created plenty of separations, and Sam Smith got double teamed, and she paid.
Yeah, you know, those double teams that the teams will sometimes do right after the rebound are really tough for those post players because they don't even see that there's another person there.
And Chambers just a victim of the exact same double team as a three-point shot wouldn't quite go. And Chambers tried to grab the rebound, just lost it as Charlie Gordon and Braylon Barnett get a check back into the game. Kel, these are almost like hockey shifts out here. You're in and then you're out.
Yeah,
Next line comes on.
Yeah, lots of substitutions tonight. And I haven't seen the Bruins play a ton this season, but I think this is pretty unusual for this team. So we'll see if Coach Evans continues to do that as the game goes on.
Bruins lead at 12-4 with just over 2 minutes to go in the first quarter here from Kirby Lyle. As Rocky Mountain with the ball. So in they come, they couldn't get it to go. Came off the hands of Julia Smith. Gordon, another three-pointer. She hit her first. Won't get her second. And battling down low was Barnett, but she couldn't quite clean it up for two. And we're going to get some changes now. Rocky Mountain will take their first timeout of the game. It's a full timeout, and Kelwood early 8-point lead for the Bruins. They're looking pretty good out there.
Yeah, you know, definitely maybe not the cleanest basketball from both teams. Both have had some little turnovers, miscommunications, still so early in this game, but ultimately Creek is getting it done.
Definitely a different style, especially from Coach Evan than we're used to, at least from the last 3 years, and I know that you've been a part of Coach Evans' teams. What do you think about this? I mean, you never played through anything like this.
No, you know, it's definitely very different, and we knew this coming into this season that there's a lot of seniors the past couple of years that have been so dominant, and we knew that this upcoming class was a strong class, so it was going to be a young team. And I don't know that I've ever seen Coach Evans kind of move players around this much and sub this much, but I'm sure as he's trying to get to know these players and they're working on playing together, it's trying to just find that rhythm, find who plays the best together, and that looks like what he's doing tonight.
And it's wild to think that you currently have two freshmen on the floor, and Charlie Gordon's the only returning player from last season that's currently out there, as she gives it off to Tiana Chambers, the freshman who we talked about pregame. As Gordon has it near side. Cross court for Baldessari, three-pointer. Doesn't quite go, and Baldessari rushed in to try to get her own rebound. Last touch by her. And now Cherry Creek with some aggressive inbound defense. Fighting for it was Barnett, but it comes to Julia Smith. So they get it into the paint. And the Bruins are going to win the battle for the ball. Here comes Chambers. She's got Gordon. She'll take it herself. And she can't quite finish. Bruins going to get the rebound and draw the foul. Braylon Barnett. Don't usually want to miss those basically free layups.
Yeah, you know, those situations when you're dribbling the ball down and you're like, Charlie Gordon was so open on that one. I think maybe I would have passed it up, but Anea was also open. So it's like, I guess you take it up, but you always get really mad at yourself when you miss those what you want to say, easy layups.
Very humble from a pass-first player, Kel. Always passed first. So Barnett's got her second. And she'll knock it down. So Bruins have a 10-point lead with under a minute to go in the opening quarter. And left wide open was Peebles. She couldn't get it to go. As the Bruins come quickly back down court, it's Chambers. She left it short. A nice behind-the-back move. Coach Evans asking for something, but that was quite nice, Kel, from Wagner.
Yeah, you know, really trying to play under pressure. This Bruins defense is putting a lot of pressure on Rocky Mountain, and they're trying to just transition and get out of it.
Three-point basket. Not going to go for Rocky Mountain. Under 20 seconds to go. Bruins should have the final possession of the opening quarter. As Chambers, 5 seconds to go. Goes to Chambers, three-pointer at the buzzer. She knocks it down. Tiana Chambers, the freshman, gives the Bruins a 13-point lead after one quarter.
Yeah, you know, that was a great end of the quarter there for the Bruins. But now we're going to send it down to Reagan Kanavi.
Thanks, guys. So the Rocky Mountain Lobos have made the trek down here all the way from Fort Collins to come play the Bruins. They have a 6-4 record so far. They're 1-1 on the road, coming off of a loss against another team in Fort Collins. After this game, they're going to go down and play Fairview, also an away game. Creek's record is 6-4 right now, and we're looking at 1-0 on the road for the Bruins. They're here back at home again, looking to extend their lead to 7-4, and hopefully they can do that. Back up to you guys. All
right, thanks, Reagan. Some good information there on the Rocky Mountain Lobos. Not a team that Cherry Creek sees too often in any sport, coming all the way down from Fort Collins. Looked like that they had the Colorado State University bus in the parking lot.
Yeah, you know, when I pulled into the parking lot, I was like, huh, that's interesting.
Are we replaying the Rams tonight?
Yeah, and then I realized, oh, they're from Fort Collins, but that had to be a pretty cool experience.
Plenty of former Rams had great matchups in this gym. As the Bruins back on offense after the first, as Gordon goes to Chambers. Into the corner, Baldessari, her three-pointer doesn't quite go, as Rocky Mountain keeping up with the Bruins pace. Both teams have been playing really, really quick so far.
Yeah, for sure, and you can see obviously the Bruins are still in a man defense, but Rocky Mountain, it looks like they're in a 2-3 zone, and I don't know that the Bruins have seen a whole lot of zone this season. A lot of the teams that Creek usually play man-to-man defense, so that is definitely different, especially as we're talking about they have a young team trying to learn those zone sets still and how to play against a zone as this group. Definitely different, so both teams trying to capitalize on transition.
Smith to Wagner. Her shot didn't go, and Bruins going to draw a foul as Chambers was coming up court. It's Tiana Chambers, the 6-foot freshman that we've been talking about all throughout the first quarter, and there's Braylon Barnett. We know her as well.
Yeah, you know, 3 freshmen on the court right now looking like veterans. You know, they're playing well, passing well. These 3 I know have played on a team together the past few years, and I think you can tell there's definitely a chemistry there in just their passes, and it seems to be a lot of trust between these players.
Baldessari was trying to get something off, perhaps a pass or maybe a shot, but it's taken away by the Lobos. And into the paint with some nice moves, but Julia Smith couldn't get it to go as Charlie Gordon back down court. She'll finish with some contact.
And that's what we've seen Charlie do a lot of over the past few years. Get out, get down the court, and we've seen her receive those passes, be good at making layups against contact, and that's what she just did.
Bruins come away with the steals. Here's Tiana Chambers all by herself, and she'll finish. Kel, what you said just a couple moments ago is what I wanted to touch on. This team looks like that they have chemistry, and they're only 2 games into league play.
Yeah, you know, they played a tournament in California to start their season, had a couple games back in Colorado, played a Highlands Ranch team, played some pretty competitive games, and so they've had time to get to play with each other, but it's still a young team, and they're still trying to find their rhythm, as you can tell with Coach Evans making substitutions and everything like that, but I think you can tell that they've played together a little bit and seem to have good chemistry.
Braylon Barnett grabs the board and finishes, and Kel, I wouldn't say perfect or spotless, but it's been awfully good on the board, shooting, passing. Couple few turnovers. You can expect that in the opening quarter of a game early on in the season, but
Yeah.
this team's looking really good.
Yeah, you know, I think the biggest place that Coach Evans wants to see the Bruins probably clean it up a little bit is turnovers and making some of those easy shots. But all in all, they've done a pretty good job getting back on defense, playing really good defense, and taking care of what they need to on the offensive side.
Barnett just missed a long 2. And now Rocky Mountain with the ball. Step back 3-pointer is good from Delaney Matkin. 25-7 your score. Just under 5 to go in this first half. And there's another takeaway by the Lobos. And looks like the Bruins are getting ready to make about 3 changes. 3 for the Lobos as well, as we get ready to get 6 new players into the game. And Kel, probably a few too many turnovers. Other teams in the Centennial League they're going to really take advantage of that, and they're going to hurt you, but it hasn't been a problem yet for the Bruins. Just 7 points on the board for the Lobos.
Yeah, you know, that's where we're going to see probably the most points against the Bruins is not necessarily in set defense or, you know, in transition, but on turnovers. And that's, I think, where those little things can make such a big difference.
Here's Kylie Smitch over to Sam Smith. Smith with a long pass to Chambers. Chambers going to pull up a 3. And another cleanup on the boards. In for Smitch with a great pass. And now the Bruins finally draw a foul. Braylon Barnett has been doing all the work down low, and it has looked so, so good.
Yeah, you know, she was out a little bit at the beginning of the season with a knee injury, and she has come back the past few games and just really made a difference.
And what sticks out to me as different is that the Bruins bigs have size in addition to height.
For sure, yeah, they are aggressive players and are not afraid to shoot and to be you know, threats on the outside. They can all shoot and they can all be aggressive on the inside as well.
Sarah Chico hits down a jump shot. 25-9 the score as Kylie Smitch walking the far sideline into Sam Smith, wide open in the paint, and Smith is on the board for the first time this evening. 18-point lead for the Bruins as they got some more subs coming in. Next shift's getting ready to come on. As the Bruins going to be called with a foul there as Chico was working on a couple defenders. And Chambers called with her second foul. She's going to head off as Julia Leach and Maria Johnson will come into the game.
You know, Julia had a big role last year with Eliza Hill hurt. She really played a lot last year on the court, and I think this year we'll continue to see her as she continues to develop as a player. She's a huge threat, just her height, and she really is a physical player. So we'll continue to see her throughout this season as well.
Ashlyn Tilley just knocked down a shot for the Lobos. Here comes Laurel Hedrick. Bounce pass across the paint is taken away by the Lobos. A little bit of a forced pass there. And now a three-point attempt, knocks it down Delaney Matkin. And there's a couple scoring possessions in a row for the Lobos.
Yeah, they've shown that they can hit some pretty long threes, and I think that's been kind of their biggest source of offense, as well as trying to take advantage of some of those turnovers as we were talking about earlier.
30-second timeout taken by the Bruins to stop a little bit of the Rocky Mountain run, but Kel, I'm going to say it again. I'm not going to say shocked, because this team always has high expectations. That's the nature of being a varsity sports team at Cherry Creek, but so much improvement from last season is what we can tell so far.
Yeah, for sure. And even throughout this season, I think that this team started out with a losing record, and they have worked to just kind of figure out how to play as a team, fix some of those little things, and hopefully that can help them kind of into league play as it continues later on this week.
And that win against Mullen is bigger than just the one in the win column, because that could really spark something and jumpstart something as Cherry Creek will get through this game and then continue into some more league games. Here's Johnson. Over to Smitch. Hedrick in for Leach, and Julia Leach off the glass for two.
You know, Rocky Mountain is still in this 2-3 zone, and you can see that the Bruins are just trying to move the ball. And the biggest thing that Coach Evans would always say with the 2-3 zone is moving the ball and then finding those gaps. There's going to be holes, and the post players can be dominant in this 2-3 zone.
Johnson will draw the foul, almost got it to go, but she's going to head to the line for two more. At the line for the second time tonight, went 1 for 2 in her first trip. Bruins currently with the 15-point lead with just over 2 minutes to go here in quarter number 2. Got her first, and some subs will come in for Rocky Mountain. And now Johnson on the back end. Got it. 2 for 2 from Johnson, as the Bruins extend their lead back up to 17. Their highest lead of the night was 18, as Johnson fighting, trying to get that one away. And the Bruins are going to come away with a steal as Kylie Smitch got into that passing lane. Smitch to Johnson. Johnson with a pass into Smith. Smith off the glass back to Leach, and she's going to finish. Bruins definitely sharing the wealth in terms of scoring so far in this first half.
Yeah, for sure. We've seen lots of different players getting on the boards, and I think that's a big thing for this team. You can see there's multiple players that are very dynamic and can play different spots, and that's what we're seeing right now.
Sarah Chico knocks down a three-pointer. And the Bruins are right back down the floor, wasting no time. It's Johnson to the rim, rebounded by Leach, and Leach just keeps finishing down low.
Yeah, you know, getting offensive rebounds is a huge thing, and we've seen the Bruins get some big offensive rebounds and put it back up and score. So that's a huge thing. I mean, getting any second chance opportunities you can makes a big difference in the game.
Bruins going to be called with the foul here. It's going to be called on Smitch. Bruins' 6th foul of the half. One more will put Rocky Mountain in the bonus if they should foul within the final minute and 7 seconds. As Julia Smith comes into the game for the Lobos. And there you see at the line, Delaney Matkin. So they're going to rebound the second free throw. Out of bounds, going to stay with the Lobos. And it comes three-pointer off the inbound. Won't go from the hands of Chico. As Smitch gives off to Johnson. Johnson to Smith and to Hedrick. In for Leach, and offensive foul on the Bruins, 3 seconds. Julia Leach has been playing pretty well in the paint so far, but you can't just hang out there.
Yeah, I think as a post, it would be easy to just get comfortable down there. You're battling with another big player trying to get yourself open, and I think it'd be hard to remember, oh, I've only been in here for, I've been in here for 2 seconds, not 3,
It's not a long amount of time to consciously count 1, 2, and then get out. Lobos get 2 more, and under 20 seconds to go. We'll see if the Bruins hold for 1. It's Johnson to Smith, back to Johnson. And around the horn, Hedrick to Smith. Backdoor for Leach. And the ball was behind her. 2 seconds to go. We'll see if Rocky Mountain gets a shot up. They do. And it won't quite go. Off the hands of Delaney Mackin.
Yeah, we're going to send it down to Reagan Kenobi with Coach Evans.
And Coach Evans always has something good to say during these halftime interviews, so Reagan, whenever you are ready down there with Coach Evans, we send it down to you.
Thanks, Ben. I'm here with Coach Evans. Coach, you had a tough loss against Arapahoe. You came back in an exciting win against Mullen, and now you're up here by a considerable amount. How has the team's chemistry been after gaining some more confidence out there on the court?
It's good. It's sometimes tough when you blend a lot of young kids with some older kids, and when you have 10, 12 kids that can really play, you can't keep 12 kids happy with enough minutes. You just can't. So, we just tell them to battle every day in practice, and if they want to play more, earn it.
What are you looking to improve going out into the second half?
Just recognizing what they're doing defensively. They're switching up. They've been in 1-3-1 and a 2-3 and doing some different things defensively. Just recognizing what they're in, finding the open man and executing.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
All right, thanks, Reagan. A great interview there from Coach Evans. He usually gave me a little bit of a harder time last season, but no one was in the gym to see it, so I guess you can do whatever you want. We send it down to the Cherokee Bobs, and then Kel and I with some halftime thoughts coming up here on CCSN. And everybody back alongside Kel McDavid. I'm Benjamin Paris, halftime at the Kirby Lyle Gymnasium, where Cherry Creek leads at 35-19 over Rocky Mountain. Kel, any first half thoughts?
I've been impressed with this team just getting lots of different players on the court and really adjusting to having different players, different leadership every time, a different point guard. And I've just been impressed with their composure this first half. Like Coach Evans was saying at the beginning of the half, or at halftime, Rocky Mountain is changing their defense a lot. And maybe Coach Evans wants them to fix a little bit of things, but I think they're doing a good job just kind of staying organized, keeping their composure, and not kind of panicking when they see that their defense has changed.
What he just said to Reagan at halftime really stood out to me, how when you have 12 really good players, not everyone can be happy with the amount of minutes they could get. That must be the best problem for a basketball team to have.
For sure, for sure. And I think that's why we're seeing so many substitutions and different players getting in, because there are so many good players, and you don't necessarily see a deficit on the court when certain players are out or on. And I think that that's, like you said, a good problem to have for sure.
What we know in Cherry Creek girls basketball first time on CCSN this season is that they look like a really well-rounded team, and we have a chance to keep watching them, and half number 2 coming up right here on CCSN. And hi, everybody. Welcome back inside the Kirby-Lyle Gymnasium with Kel McDavid, Benjamin Paris. And all of a sudden, we got really loud, Kel. As the Lobos begin the second half with the ball. And just like that, the gym goes silent. As the Bruins are, almost forced to turnover, less than 10 seconds into the new half. And there it is, a nice interception there. But then Rocky Mountain takes it right back. Open mid-range shot, and it's knocked down by Chico.
Yeah, you know, Bruins came out, it looked like in a little bit of a different defense, trapping that first pass, which is something Coach Evans would do last season as well. Just a different way to kind of put some pressure on the defense, and it almost worked for them.
Tiana Chambers gets the Bruins' first basket of half number 2. And now the Bruins definitely did come out. They're not in that man-to-man anymore. As Gordon was the leading Bruin, and she'll lay it in for 2.
Looks like they're back in this man defense now.
Delaney Mackin, who's been playing well all night for the Lobos, gives off to Seville. And out of bounds, going to come back to the Bruins. Scoring to Chambers. They've been sharing the point tonight. Gordon's kind of been hanging out on the wings.
Yeah, you know, like she hit a couple big shots at the beginning of the game, and that's her spot. She likes that spot. She'll find that spot, and that's where we see her playing in this zone offense.
Barnett had it knocked out of her hands, but then it was controlled by Chambers. Gordon for 3, and now she's got her second of the evening. She's feeling it, Kel.
Yeah, you know, once she finds, like I just said, like once she finds that spot, she can hit from there.
Shot was up from Mackin. And here's Chambers coming back down. And after some spins, Barnett's going to finish it off. Bruins now have their largest lead of the game. It's 23. Taken away by Chambers. And she's fouled. As Ashlyn Tilley, the trailer, got to her. She'll head to the line. Chambers 8 for 13 on the season from the line. And she misses her first.
Ben, it's gotten really quiet in this gym a few times, and you can tell there's not as many fans, student fans for this game, but Bruins bench producing a lot of energy for their team.
Kel, don't even get me started on student sections. They're missing out, and as long as we've been here, they've missed out on a lot of good basketball, and it looks like it's going to be the same way this season. Question is, why not? Jump ball. Possession is going to stay with the Bruins. And Kel, the level of talent in this state, and not just here at Cherry Creek and in the Centennial League, is unbelievable when it comes to girls basketball. And it's fun to compare. I mean, that's human nature. It's fun to compare. When you look at the prospects that have come out of Colorado girls compared to boys, we just had 3 girls from Colorado win the national championship.
Yeah, you know, it's crazy. There's just so much talent, and like we were talking about in the pregame, so much talent in the Centennial League, and we've seen lots of great players come out of high school and be really successful at the college level. And I think that that's something that people don't always know, because boys basketball just gets more attention, but the girls teams are pretty, there's some pretty spectacular teams around the state.
They know how to make their mark, and it's just so much fun to watch. So Rocky Mountain tried to get a floater to go in traffic with Skylar Hayes. Couldn't quite do it as the Bruins keep breaking down court. That's something else that Coach Evan takes pride in, is that his team is always very well conditioned. And as a runner who was on his teams, what's the conditioning like?
You know, a lot of times at the end of practice, we would always finish practice with running. And oftentimes, especially over winter break, or if there's a stretch where we didn't have as many games, we would do a lot of drills that would be mostly running and then maybe some basketball stuff in there as well. But always finished up practice with running. And sometimes that was everyone has to make your free throw, and if you miss, we run and we keep going. Or sometimes a lot of times it was dependent on, okay, this player, high pressure situation, can they do what they need to do? Okay, if not, we're running. So, you know, I always kind of enjoyed it, but I know I'm unique in that way. I like conditioning.
There you have it from the Oklahoma track and field commit. A three-pointer from deep. Just came out of bounds. Get a stay with the Lobos. And Kel, it's a cliche for as long as sports have been around. You can't always be the best team, but you can control your conditioning, and coaches will drill that into their players.
Yeah, for sure. And that's something that Coach Evans has always worked on, and he's always took pride in, I think, is his team is going to be the better conditioned team no matter what.
4 quarters, and you know that a Bruins team can give you all 32 minutes. It's a failed inbound play, and a foul followed by a kickball. Nonetheless, it's going to be Bruins ball. Foul is going to be called on Kenna Wagner. Her first foul of the game. As Johnson with the inbound to Baldessari. Back to Johnson. Johnson battling with her defender. Gets it to Sam Smith. Trying to get it into the paint. And the Bruins are going to draw another foul. It's going to be the Lobos' third of the half. And correction, that is going to be an offensive foul, rather. Bruins' second foul of the half.
You could hear Coach Evans calling some different sets for the Bruins on that. And especially those sideline plays, you don't work on them as much in practice, but they can be pretty important in games. And so with a young team, trying to get opportunities to get those plays in before some big league play where it's a high-pressure situation is a good opportunity for the Bruins.
And Smith finishes in transition after a nice block at the other end by Braylon Barnett. And right back down the floor, there's Wagner, who finishes at the rim. It's Johnson to Smitch, who thought about taking the three. Now going to drive. And going to get their own rebound was Barnett. Double dribble called. As Hedrick and Leach going to come back into the game. And one person that certainly looks like they've gone a lot more confidence is Julia Leach. She looks so much more natural out there this season.
For sure. You know, she's had a great opportunity last year to play under some good players, get some court time, and this year you can see her. She's just seems way more confident and making a big impact in this game.
Part of that very deep Cherry Creek defensive lineup. Here's Johnson to Smitch, who was looking for Hedrick, and Hedrick cut the wrong way as that pass was behind her. Under 3 to go in quarter number 3. Bruins up 48-23 over the Lobos from Rocky Mountain. It's Delaney Matkin with another behind-the-back dribble. She might be the best ball handler on this floor right now. She's going to get it back. Mackin gets it to Seville, and she's going to draw the foul. And Seville can't get the first to go. It gets back iron. 83% on the season, 25 for 30 from the line coming into tonight, and here's her second. Gonna go 0 for 2 on this trip. It's down the floor. There's Johnson. So quick and transition are the Bruins. And Johnson draws a foul. Kel, when a team's faster than you, is just fouling all you can really do to stop them from getting up floor?
Yeah, I mean, I think especially when you've got a big lead, I think sometimes you have to give up different fouls, if especially if your defense is not in the right spot. But I think different teams have different ways that they'll adjust to teams that are maybe faster than them or bigger than them, no matter who they're playing. And so I think that that's something that we've seen Rocky Mountain changing their defense a lot of times, and I think that's probably how they're trying to adjust to this team being quicker than them.
Jump ball favored the Lobos this time, and they have the ball with under 2 to go now in the third quarter. As near side three-pointer is up and no good from Sarah Chico. And into the paint, she's denied by Smitch. And I did not see that coming from Kylie Smitch.
No, you know, Kylie's an aggressive player. She's willing to play hard defensively. You'll see her get some steals, and really an aggressive player, and also wanting to make things happen on offense. So I'm not surprised by that, but definitely don't always see that from guard players.
First one's good. Bruins gonna get, is that a wholesale change? 5 new players into the game. And this looks like it's the starting lineup. Gordon's out there with Chambers, Maldasari, Barnett, and Chambers.
Rocky Mountain now pressing. So we'll see what Creek does to deal with this. But it doesn't look like necessarily they're putting a ton of pressure on, just kind of being there in the backcourt.
Back out for Gordon. Goes to Barnett. Trying to finish. And out of bounds. Going to be the Bruins' ball. 1:12 to go in the third. Chambers inbound, and Chambers going to draw the foul. Peebles will get her second foul, and Chambers heads to the line. First one is straight through. 35% free throw shooter on the season is Tiana Chambers. And second one just a little long, but the Bruins are going to be able to fight back. And no shot foul going to be on the floor, and it's a charge. And that one's on Braylon Barnett. 1:07 to go in the third. 26-point game in favor of the Bruins. As Matkin, and some great defensive pressure from Chambers is going to force Rocky Mountain to take a timeout. And with under a minute to go in the third, Kel and I are going to take 1-2 right here on CCSN. Out of the timeout, time for the final 50 seconds to go here in the third quarter, where the Bruins lead Rocky Mountain 25-49. As the Bruins continue with some great defensive pressure. Barnett on Chico. Back out. Three-pointers up. Little bit short from Sarah Chico.
Yeah, you know, like we were talking about earlier, getting those rebounds, whether offensively or defensively, can really change the game. And the Bruins have had some big rebounds, and I think that we've seen how that can change their game and getting second chance opportunities or defensive stops.
6 seconds to go. Gordon was double teamed, and she's going to draw the foul. 4.4 to go. Ball's going to come in on the baseline. Scratch that sideline. Into the paint, and the Bruins are going to get another one in just before the buzzer. Braylon Barnett. Bruins will lead it by 26 after 3 quarters of play. And with that, we send it down to Reagan Kanabi.
Thanks, Ben. So what we're looking at here tonight is 2 considerably young teams. The Lobos are really sophomore and junior heavy with 1 senior, I believe, and just a couple of freshmen. Creek is pretty similar too. We're about 50-50 when it comes to underclassmen and upperclassmen. There's a lot of new girls out here on the team, and it's been interesting to see how Coach Evans has changed to kind of incorporate them. As he talked about earlier, there's 12 really good players, and it's hard to get them all minutes. And then we also see seniors for Creek kind of evolving and stepping into those leadership positions. It's going to be really interesting to see how they grow as leaders into the rest of this season. And we're looking forward to a really exciting 4th quarter. Back up to you guys.
Thanks, Reagan. And she said it, Kel. This first game, at least on CCSN, is really a great chance for, you know, the typical or the casual Cherry Creek fan to get to know this team. And there's a lot of leadership up for grabs, and there's definitely going to be a competition to take it.
For sure, and like Coach Evans talked about, every single day at practice is an opportunity to prove yourself that you should be on the court, and I think that counts in leadership as well.
Competitive team, and that should definitely help them down the stretch as they've got some fight in them. As Chambers goes to Barnett, and the Bruins off to a good start in the 4th. Wide open 3 is taken, and it is knocked down by Delaney Mackin. Chambers down court. Another 3-pointer up. This one for the Bruins, no good from Chambers. It's back and forth to begin this 4th quarter. And in the paint, it's knocked out of the hands of Chico. And a half timeout was called before the jump ball, which would have actually favored the Lobos. But a chance to take a break here, just about a minute in to this 4th quarter. Bruins up 43-28.
Yeah, you know, both teams came out and shot pretty long threes. I'm sure that both coaches are going to try to get their teams a little bit organized and ready to go for the rest of this 4th quarter.
Lobos ball, 7:01 to go in this final frame, where the Bruins lead at 43-28. As the inbound came to Matkin. Matkin will pull it for 3. Can't get to the go. Battle for the rebound is won by the Lobos, but now the Bruins will force a turnover of their own. As Gordon with some pressure from Wagner. She gets it to Smitch as the Bruins clear half court. Smith back to Gordon, and she's going to draw the foul. Back foot did go over the half-court line, but she was pushed.
Yeah, you know, this Rocky Mountain defense is trying to put a lot of pressure on the Bruins. That seems where they've gotten their most points is on turnovers, and so they're going to continue to try to pressure this Bruins offense.
Inbound goes to Smith. As Gordon will switch over to the near side, and Bruins draw another foul. And now they'll be in the bonus as Smith will go to the line for 1 and 1. So the Bruins will be in the bonus for the rest of this one. The final 6 minutes and 26 seconds as Laurel Hedrick will check back into the game as Gordon heads off. Great performance from Charlie Gordon so far tonight. Smith gets the front end to go, so she'll get another.
Obviously, this game, it's not necessarily close score, so these aren't like high-pressure situation free throws, but it's a great opportunity for the Bruins to be in the bonus and work on making that first free throw. That can make a huge difference at the end of games that are close games, and especially as they're coming up on some pretty competitive games the rest of this week into next week as well.
Ball stolen away by Chambers. Jump ball going to be called. Going to favor the Lobos again. Guess I wouldn't say again because they called a timeout before the last one. So it favors the Lobos, and they get a chance to check Abby Seville into the game. As Delaney Matkin will have Hedrick on her as the defender. Working on Hedrick, moving to her right, going to float one up. Some good defense there by Hedrick, and looking for Sam Smith, wide receiver in the end zone. Incomplete there. Out of bounds, going to be the Lobos' ball. And Maria Johnson will come back into the game for Cherry Creek as Tiana Chambers, who's gotten plenty of minutes tonight, plenty of points, is going to head off. As Smith with some aggressive defense there. And a good shot contest. Shot by Chico was going to miss, but then it's cleaned up. Abby Seville.
You know, we've talked about rebounds a lot tonight, and just that situation. We've had a couple of different situations where we've had two Creek players going for the same ball, and it ends up being in favor of Rocky Mountain, and that's what we saw there. But Bruins trying to get on the boards for sure.
Johnson was looking for somewhere to go. She got Sam Smith for a long two. Rebounded by Wagner, and Smith is going to pick that one up. Jump pass, going to go to Sam Smith. Smith into the paint, and a great finish there. Number 24, Braylon Barnett. Quick three-pointer is up. And Delaney Matkin will miss another. As Sam Smith back out for Smith in the paint. Ball's going to roll off the rim as Sam tried to put it back up. And it's taken away by Barnett, and she's going to finish again. As Julia Leach is going to come into the game, Sam Smith going to stay on. It is Barnett who just finished that possession off for the Bruins, who's going to head off.
Coach Evans taking the 30-second timeout to make a substitution there.
Almost halfway through the fourth. Bruins up big here at the Kirby Lyle Gymnasium against the Rocky Mountain Lobos. As Smith's going to come away and poke away the steal. Kylie's got pressure up floor. She blows by her defenders. A great pass to Sam Smith. Maria Johnson, three-pointer. No, as it's rebounded and foul going to be called. And that one going to be against Laurel Hedrick. Bruins 6th foul. Next one will put Rocky Mountain into the bonus.
Yeah, you know, late in this game, the Bruins obviously hoping not to foul. They don't need to foul, and hoping not to foul to just keep this game flowing, not get Rocky Mountain in the bonus, and also just playing smart defense in general.
Driving was Abby Seville, and she gets the finish. Has Johnson Smith out there right now with Hedrick Smith and Leach. And Johnson to Leach. We'll go to Smith in the far side corner. Smith's got a drive, put it up over her defender, and she's got a finish.
You know, Ben, that's one of my favorite offensive plays that they just called. It's a great opportunity to get a good read for your post, but also as a guard, kind of take advantage of the defense getting used to the repetitiveness of that play.
Johnson to Smith. Her defender came in, was able to stop that one. Wow. And now trying to battle for the ball as Kylie Smith will come back with it. Go to Johnson. 4 changes getting ready to come in for the Lobos. Oh, and it looks like that Mei Ling might have been getting ready to go in for just a second. Jump ball. Possession to the Bruins. 4 changes coming in now for the Lobos. And number 31 coming in for the Bruins. Don't have that one on the roster. Just kidding, I do.
Molly DeRiggi.
Thank you so much. Oh, was that out of the Carter DeRiggi family?
That is.
He's a friend of the broadcast. Well, there you go. Molly DeRiggi checking into the game. And the three-pointer wouldn't quite go. And a three-point up. Won't go that time as now we got to go go to the JV rosters. And Maylee Brennan is checking into her first varsity game post ACL surgery. And she draws a foul. What a feel-good moment right now, Kel, as Mei Ling has been waiting to come back to this floor. She's been on varsity for 3 years, just got the tail end of the last era of Cherry Creek basketball, a part of this new one. She's got 2 more years, and this is something you love to see.
For sure, and Mei Ling came out her freshman year.
Got it!
And tore her meniscus. Then last season, came out, tore her ACL. So she's had some tough years battling knee injuries, and to see her out on the court is really awesome.
Goes 1 for 2, but it's back like she never left. As here's DeRiggi. Hedrick couldn't get the 2-point flick to go. Jump ball. Gonna go to Rocky Mountain. Oh, I cannot wait to hear about this from Mei Ling tomorrow. Her first game back here in January of the new year. And she's someone that can help this team out big time once we get in deeper into February and into March, Kel.
For sure, and she is a shooting threat for this team and also an aggressive overall player, kind of a true point guard, and definitely hope to see her continue throughout this season.
Jump ball this time, going to go to the Bruins. And a Mei Ling Brennan three-pointer might just cap this one off for the Bruins, but here's Molly DeRiggi. There to Leach, and Leach gonna roll it in, and the bench is erupting right now for the Bruins. That's one thing. The bench has always been great at supporting their teammates, and for this program in particular. And I know you were the recipient and gave out a lot of that love, Kel.
Yeah, you know, it's fun, especially for these younger players, to get opportunities in at the varsity games. Just because it's a bigger stage, it's a different pace, and to get to play on this level is a really fun opportunity.
Out of bounds, going to stay with the Lobos as Leach was battling for that one. And the 5-second violation. Rocky Mountain didn't get the ball in. Bruins will get it back. And Hedrick going to go to Johnson. looking very, very unfazed out there. Goes to DeRiggi. DeRiggi with some nice moves. 3-pointers up. Got it! Maria Johnson hits a 3. It's 67-32 with under a minute to go. Backdoor cut. Long 2 won't go, and going to be taken away by Johnson. Can she beat everyone down floor? No, but she's got Molly DeRiggi. Can't finish, out of bounds. Rocky Mountain ball. 40 seconds even to go in this one. It's Veronica Braum out there. And DeRiggi almost came away with the steal. Out of bounds it comes with 27 4/10 of a second to go. And back out to a Braum. DeRiggi working on a Braum. Shots up, it was blocked by Hedrick. She's shocked. It's gonna send, I believe it's gonna send Agatha Borchett to the line.
And you could hear Coach Evans on that play yelling, "Don't foul, don't foul, don't foul." But, you know, when they're driving in, you're not just going to give them the open lane. But I think that's an end of the game thing that you hope not to foul. You're obviously not going to try to foul, so.
First one rattles around and is in. And now the second is good, and now the Bruins will most likely just dribble this one out, and it'll be the end to a good night here at the Kirby Lyle Gymnasium as they open up their home schedule in 2022. And that'll do it here from the Kirby Lyle Gymnasium. The Bruins with a terrific win, scoring a lot of points, 67-34, the final. And I believe Reagan Kanabe is going to have Charlie Gordon standing by in just a second. A great performance by the Bruins and pretty feel-good win.
Yeah, for sure, Ben. You know, coming off of that win against Mullen, I know this team really wanted to come out and win and capitalize on some of those things that they found against Mullen the other day, and so that's a good opportunity for them. All right, looks like Mei Ling Brennan might be with Reagan Kanabe, and she is. We send it down.
I'm here with Mei Ling Brennan. Mei Ling, you tore your ACL about a year ago. You've been out for 10 months. Seems like everybody loves the comeback story. Your team was on their feet cheering you on when you came in with just over 2 minutes back in the game. How does it feel to be back?
It's so great. I love my team. They really encouraged me to get better, so I wouldn't be able to do it without them.
And when you came in, it was barely a second before they fouled you. You were already making an impact without even being on the court for more than a second. You came down here, you shot some free throws. What are your goals this season? What are you looking to do this season?
Honestly, this season, I'm just trying to get my body back for next season. But I'm super happy I got to play tonight.
Thank you so much. Great win.
All right, thanks, Reagan. We appreciate that. And as Kel and I get ready to wrap things up here in our makeshift little broadcast booth here in the Kirby Lyle Gymnasium, great to see Mei Ling out there in the postgame. A great one for the Bruins. And as they look to play Grandview later this week, they have some momentum going into that game, and anything can happen on Thursday night as they head to Grandview to play them for the first of 2 times this season.
You know, it's always a big matchup. First game against Grandview. Grandview's been a huge competitor in the league over the past long time. Always a good team. They've got some big threats, and Creek will really just be trying to prepare for that game all week at practice.
So get ready for Thursday night. It's Cherry Creek getting ready to take on Lauren Betts, Mara Hudgens, and the whole Grandview Wolves squad. We might have some coverage of that one coming to you on social media. I'm sure Grandview TV will have coverage of that one, so there'll be some way to get updates or watch that game. But for now, for Kel McDavid and the whole CCSN crew, I'm Benjamin Paris signing off here from the Kirby